Dear students, good evening. Let us have a discussion on editorials of today, that is 17th October 2022. The first article, Food Day as a reminder to leave no one behind. Leave no one behind. You can use this slogan as a very good conclusion in your answer. Especially food security, hunger and poverty are part of your GS paper 2 syllabus. How a good question can be framed on this? India has to strive much towards the goal of zero hunger, because zero hunger is a sustainable developmental goal too. What do you think are the steps Indian government has to take to achieve this goal? Second is, what are the challenges India is facing towards achieving zero hunger goal? Either they may ask you as challenges or they may ask you what are the remedies what we shall do towards it. So in this case, there is a lot of value addition which we have to understand. The first is the report. The Hunger Hotspot Outlook. Who gave this report? Report by FAO, World Food Program. These two have given this report, Hunger Hotspot Outlook. Obviously, you can use this as mains. It can also be a prelims question. What it says is 20.5 crore people across 45 countries need emergency food assistance today. So how much? 20.5 crore people across 45 countries need emergency food assistance. These kind of statistics, they bring authenticity to your answer. What India shall do, what India is doing. So already India midday meal program is there. Tamil Nadu kind of states have brought in breakfast program. And added to that, Poshan Abhiyan is there. Anganwadi centers. So these all you can include the steps towards nutritional security in India. So national food security is the largest program of food subsidy across the world. So what is the complaint about the national food security? It is giving food security but not nutritional security. Nutritional security means protein energy security. Everything comes under nutritional security, micronutrient security, etc. So, the nutritional security India has to strive for. Here, National Food Security Act is the greatest milestone of India. Keeping this aside, further what has to be done? In this case, first is, we need to increase access to the food. How can we increase access to the food? So that is, growth, the food grains what we are growing has to be increased. So climate adaptation and resilience building is very critical. Climate adaptation and resilience. And then today our agriculture is very intensive. It means that use of pesticides is very high in India. So we have to, the yield and productivity of the land is very low. So we have to increase the productivity of the land, but we also have to shift towards some sustainable, inclusive, effective food systems. Remember these words. Sustainable, inclusive, effective food systems. So the third is, remember, most of the people, why they are not getting the food? The cost of the food is increasing day by day. So the access to the food can also be improved when you bring down the cost of the food. So this can come through sustainable agri-food systems. And food basket diversity is important. When we all want rice and wheat, obviously the demand for them goes up and increases the cost. How to make the food basket diverse? Let's increase the sale of millets. So millets need to be given a renewed attention. So today, India is the leading producer of the millets. And also government has a program, a submission that is called Submission on Nutri-Cereals. This submission on Nutri-Cereals is part of National Food Security Mission. And water usage, because we are a water-stressed country, so water usage and nutritional value of our food is decreasing. These also need to be addressed. So climate smart crops, preservation of agrobiodiversity, and all these things will improve the productivity of our land and sustainability of our land. And I want to give you one case study to quote in your answer. It is called Tejashwini program in MP. Who has funded this program? International Fund for Agricultural Development, IFAD. In the last 10 years, under the Tejashwini program, with the growth of millets, farmers shifting to natural farming and millets, their revenues have increased by 10 times. So that clearly shows that the sustainable agriculture has financial security too. So these are the points we need to understand. These are the points we can use to value or add value to our answer. The plumbing of inner party democracy. This is about Congress. So today, presidential elections are going on in Congress. If you see, no other party has got such a democratic internal process to conduct the elections like this today. Many of the parties, they see that this kind of elections will encourage groupism and splinters in the political party. And Congress need to be appreciated for this particular culture. Congress has been criticized as a dynasty party and for its inheritance politics, but it can be seen as a great departure today. Any party which has to bring in internal democracy, there has to be certain capabilities. Now, regular elections, who are conducting that? Election Commission of India is collecting that. So we need to have an independent election commission within the political party itself. It has to prepare its voters list. This voters list has to come from every block in India. And giving them the voting rights, conducting the secret ballot, this all needs a lot of capabilities. So organizational strength and capabilities are essential for inner party democracy. So this has to be stated as a bold step towards inner party democracy. So in India, this has to be made mandatory for everyone. The problem is the political parties do not have a law regulating them. So we have to enact a law regulating the political parties and making the inner party democracy mandatory. Once the inner party democracy is made mandatory, then high command politics will come to an end. It will develop the second rung leadership in the country, which is very essential today. Fuel to the fire. This is about micro budget proposed by Liz Truss government in United Kingdom. So in this, what is the problem? They wanted to go in favor of the business. So they want to create business friendly environment. Tories are known for this from very beginning. But the situation is not like that today. On one side, they are facing cost of living crisis, which is described as cost of living crisis, rising fuel prices. And common man is suffering from all this. So government today has to come in and rescue them. That is where government has to take certain burden of the rising costs. For that, government needs money. Where it has to get it from the taxes collected from the rich and influential. That is what is normal redistributive policies any government will make at this point of time. But Truss government did not do that. It has decreased the taxes on the people who are earning more than 150k pounds per year. They want to raise it to around 45%. That has been removed. And then the corporate taxes, these are brought down to 19%. Obviously, this has created more inflation and the dropping of the value of the UK's that is gold-edged bonds, and it has led to the fall of the currency value and crisis in the economy. So obviously, they want to bring in no confidence motion again as the newly elected Prime Minister. But the worst is the UK's parliament, when a Prime Minister is been brought into office, up to 1 year the party will not normally remove them as the Prime Minister as a convention. So let us see how the things will change in UK. Making a case for old pension scheme. To understand this article, you need to know the difference between old pension scheme and new pension scheme. New pension scheme is a corpus. Corpus is something where you all collected and kept it. This corpus will be invested in market. And this market investments, they are expected to give yields. Based on this, the corpus value will grow, and then the money to the people who are part of the corpus also will increase. So this corpus, it will invest in the market, and whatever the yields come, they become the pension of the various workers. On the other hand, old pension scheme, it is government security which is offered on the basis of last drawn salary. It is indexed to the inflation. It means the pension will increase as the inflation will increase. there is no market risk in this. Obviously, either markets fall or rise, their needs will not change. So if you have seen 2008 financial crisis has washed out many of the investments made by these corpus funds across the world. Obviously, pensioners will be the most vulnerable in such a situation. Their income sources will not be otherwise there. So that's why it provides for the stability from the market risks. And then, normally whenever the recession is there, what we do? We take up some measures which are called counter-cyclical measures. What do we mean by these counter-cyclical measures? The government has to pump in more money. Government has to pump in more and more money into the market. So obviously, the money which is coming to old pension scheme, these pensions can be seen as a counter-cyclical measures to fight the recession. To fight this recession. So finally, India better can do is increase its tax to GDP ratio rather than saving on the money given to the pensioners who have contributed to the nation for this long. That's how this article argues the statistical support. Questionable urgency. Now Sai Baba, Professor Sai Baba of Delhi University, he was, the charges against him are dismissed by the Bombay High Court. So he was discharged from the case. On what basis? Any case on UAPA sections has to take the permission or sanction from an authority prescribed. So there has to be a sanctioning authority to file an FIR or something. So what police did, within 24 hours, they took the sanction, they took the, everything has been done in less than 24 hours. Even before authority has given its sanction, FIR was booked, he was sent to remand, everything has been done. So there is a great procedural violation. That's why Bombay court has discharged him from the office, from the prison. Now, the Maharashtra government immediately went to the Supreme Court, and Supreme Court did not allow for his release. Remember, the Supreme Court staying so swiftly freedoms of a private individual will show the court in a bad light. Because the Supreme Court is supposed to be the protector of the rights of the citizen. Any kind of its action in violating the rights of citizen has to be based on lot of thought. If it is acting swiftly, that shows that an institution that is meant to protect the rights of the citizens is doing other way around. So that's why the Supreme Court need to be cautious about it. Obviously, you can use this as an example whenever you say the Supreme Court, which is a protector of the rights, sometimes is acting in swift or swiftly acting. You can quote certain examples during emergency. Those are the better examples. But latest examples you want to quote, you can quote from this. Next is, why does the Supreme Court collegium hold primacy over transfers? So the third judge's case is the reason for this. The CJI represents the entire opinion of the judiciary, and recommendations of the CJI has to be binding on the Council of Ministers and President of India. The President of India shall appoint only the people who are being recommended by the collegium. In this case, recently, when a collegium recommends a group of judges, and out of this, one or two are segregated and not appointed, and the remaining are being allowed to be appointed. This is what the government is doing. So these judges who are being segregated and not appointed, what will happen? So they will lose their seniority if they are appointed after a month or 2 months later. And second, the primacy of the judiciary is being vetoed by the government. The judicial decision is getting vetoed by the government. So government may not have the will to appoint its men as judges, but government is able to override the recommendations made by the judiciary. So that is going to damage the judicial independence and authority. In this case, in NJAC case, the Supreme Court has recommended for memorandum of procedure, which has to clearly talk about the role of the government in this, that has to be drafted immediately. So, the segregation of judges by the government while making the appointments, that is a point which you have to add to your notes. So, in this case, examples what we can use, one is Gopala Subramanian And then recently Justice Muralidhar, he was transferred as the Chief Justice of Madras High Court, and his appointment was being segregated and kept pending by the government. So the segregation of the appointments, segregation and pending the appointments recommended by collegium, it goes against judicial primacy and judicial independence in judges' appointments. These are the points we need to remember. Thank you very much.